Fight number 2, bumping it up in the weight classes a little bit, 195 pounds. A lot more power still. These guys carry good conditioning and nice speed. This is going to be an exciting one.
Yes, they will. Stepping up to that 190-pound division, both these guys are going to have the chance to put somebody out with one shot. Definitely excited to see this. A lot of times we start out with some lighter weight classes before we get to anything that's above 160. This time we got 2 of them in a row.
Well, you talked about a good start to the show. Yes, sir.
His opponent, fighting out of the Larry H. Miller Nissan on 104th, blue corner, Hector Lumba.
Here we go with our tail of the tape. Already in the ring is Xavier Botello, 26 years old, the shorter of the two at 5'9", 195 pounds, making his debut this evening as an orthodox fighter. Tell us what you know about Mr. Lumba.
Well, Mr. Lumba coming in at 30 years old, has a height advantage at 6 foot tall, weighed in at 195 pounds with a record at 2-2, coming off a big win in his last fight with a big body shot against a man that I've had some ring time with. He fought my opponent from my fight in January. So has some good body shots on him. Good foot movement as a stiff jab. He's in Vern Earwood, Coach Vern is in his corner, coming out of A1 Boxing. So it should be an interesting fight.
And we have an early contender for nicest trunks of the night in Mr. Lumba.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's meet our fighters. First, fighting out of the Dynamic Mortgage Concepts red corner, from Fort Morgan, Colorado, representing Fort Morgan Gladiators Boxing, Xavier X Botello! His opponent, fighting out of the Larry H. Miller Nissan on 104th, blue corner, from Aurora, Colorado, representing A1 Boxing, Hector Wild Boy Lumba!
Okay, fellas, you received your instructions earlier in the dressing room. I expect you to obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Anything below the navel is going to be low. Anything back here is going to be illegal. Let's touch them up right now, guys. Good luck.
Final instructions from the third in the ring, Mr. Curtis Thrasher, as we have the fighter in the black trunks representing Fort Morgan Boxing, or Fort Morgan Gladiators, Xavier Botello, facing off against Hector Lumba. He's wearing the red and white representing A1. And Botello, something that I see that might cost him already is when he backs up, he puts his chin straight up in the air.
Yeah, and he's got that really wide, deep stance, which is going to kind of take away from his height, obviously, and Lumba is a little bit taller, so I'll be interested to see how this plays out. But some really good shots right off the bat from Botello.
And Lumba taking hard shots there. Botello has him down. Botello ushered over to a neutral corner so Lumba can receive his 8 count.
Yeah, and Botello landed a couple extra punches after that knee went down. That's what Thrasher was kind of giving him a warning about.
And a good left hand to start it off again for Botello, and follows up with a nice prolonged flurry. Oh my goodness, that was about a 9-punch combination. And Lumba doing a nice job of regathering himself there. I thought he was a little more out of it, but he came right back up. But obviously Botello just going to fly in for the attack and an immediate left hand.
Yeah, Lumba's hands are a little bit low, kind of looking over him right now. He needs to keep that guard up because Botello is throwing some big hooks.
And Botello doing a nice job of keeping his guard high and tight. I like the fact that he's not just rushing in with disciplined flurry, I guess.
Yep, even when he throws his big hooks, he's still got his other hand propped up, and as soon as that hook lands, his guard is right back up. Very impressed with Botello so far in this first round.
Lumba's only got to survive 10 more seconds. See if Botello is able to get him out. 3 knockdowns in a round, and that'll be it. Looks like Lumba's going to have a minute to recover.
Yeah, and that could very well be a 10-8 round for Botello right there. That was a beautiful display of body shots and hooks to the head.
Well,
and that's good.
I'm sorry, there's 2 knockdowns, so it is 10-8. Yeah,
oh,
for
it is,
sure.
yeah, for sure, 10-8. And Botello doing a beautiful job of throwing body shots and mixing it, bringing it right back up to the head. Let's check out the Larry H. Miller on 104th replay.
And it's going to be a replay of all action from Botello as he put together some really nice flurries, had a nice sense of when his opponent was injured and when he needed to step in and follow up hardcore. And gives his opponent a little bit of a verbal thrashing there too. So if you're Coach Vern in the corner of Lumba, what are you telling him between rounds to try to regather himself?
At the very end of that round, Lumba started using his head movement and his footwork and made Botello miss about 4 times in a row. He needs to move around. Botello wants to come straight forward. He needs to start working angles, moving around, using his head movement.
Botello has no interest in a glove touch unless it's upside his opponent's head. Going immediately back to work is Botello, as we would have expected.
Yep.
Let's go. There you go.
Lumba, good job with the head work there. He seems to be fairly well recovered. I'm not seeing any off balance in his footwork or staggering in his steps or anything like that. Little bit slower on his punches than he had been, but otherwise I think he recovered well. Speaks nicely of his conditioning.
Yeah, and on the flurry right before this, he did a good job of slipping out of the way and throwing a nice uppercut, just like he tried to do there.
Yep.
And he needs to keep using that head movement. Botello taking a couple deep breaths, so I think he's going to slow down a little bit too. This is going to be a little bit more calm round, I believe.
Lumba needs to be careful of dropping his hands when he backs out.
Yeah. Reading my mind.
Couple of
right
hard
there.
shots. And again with the uppercut. Nicely done by Botello. Botello's got to get himself to a neutral corner. He's costing himself time in the 8 count. Lumba showing he's ready to go. Boy, there's some toughness in this gentleman out of the A1 gym. My gracious.
Yes, there is, and he needs to keep those hands up. He drops his hands a lot when he's returning from punching and when he's backing up, and that's where he's getting caught with these big hooks.
Lumbo's corner telling him to tie up. I think that was wise right there. Botello knows that's what he's going to do, and Botello doing a nice job of keeping the distance right now. Couple of hard winging shots by Lumba. And again, just a few seconds left in the round here. Oh, and down again. 4th time in the fight. And referee Curtis Thrasher waves it off. Doc Alex gonna get in there, take a look at things. Well done by Mr. Botello.
That was a very, very impressive very impressive fight by Botello. He was in control that whole fight, and the body shots to the head, the body shots that he was throwing and then coming right back up top to the head did exactly what they needed to do.
And Botello, what really, really impressed me in this fight was how disciplined he stayed when he had his opponent hurt. He flurried, he punched hard, but he still picked his targets. He was still accurate, and he did things with discipline. And that's not easy to do when you know you have your opponent hurt. There's that tendency to want to rush forward and make it happen right this second.
That's true, and not only that, but he was never throwing singles or even doubles just punches. It was always at least a 3-punch combination, a combination of body shots and head shots, trying to get his opponent to move his guard up and down, and it worked beautifully.
And we're seeing that here on the replay with Botello keeping that guard high and tight. Just knew exactly when he needed to punch, and obviously that was the end of the fight there, so let's take it up to Big Mo, and he'll give us the official time.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Curtis Thrasher calls a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 52 seconds of the 2nd round. Declaring your winner by TKO, Xavier X. Delora!
I'm here with your winner now, Xavier Botello. How's it feel to get that win tonight?
It was very good, very good.
Came out fast and furious in that first round, got a couple knockdowns, took you to the second round to get the finish, but big knockout for you. What was the game plan going in?
Just a box, honestly. So it was nice to get the knockout.
You told me that you typically fight at a much lower weight class. What was it like fighting at this weight class tonight?
Very tiring. As you can tell, I'm very tired.
All right, what can we expect next from you?
Just keep going, keep going. I'll go under Steve and go under Eddie Marquez. Just let them manage it. So.
Anybody you want to thank tonight?
Just the Fort Morgan Gladiators, Ernie Marquez, everybody from Fort Morgan came out and see me Greeley and Denver.
Congratulations on a great win.